Okay. Oh, there we go, people. I'm going to punch out a video on getting the new shaders, the new skins into Rfactor 2. As you can see here, I've got one here that I've done for a mate. I'm not going to run through the whole Photoshop process, but it's going to be more about how you do the region layers and the two DDS files involved, and then doing the LocalHost editor to edit the car in-game in the showroom here. So you can see here we've got this nice car, a nice McLaren 720, and yeah, we've got a little bit of detail down here. We've got some chrome on the fins, we've got some metallic paint going on, nice gloss to it. Yeah, just beautiful machine. So anyway, we'll get into it and show you how it's done. So here we go. Here's the folder that I've been using. I'm not going to paint a skin because that can take forever, depending on what you want to do with it. But yeah, I'm going to play with a few things, few little folder of stuff I put on the car and edited so we can get it in there. And yeah, so what you're going to do, we've got your McLaren 720 Photoshop document, which is the skin. Usually open that one up, but I'm not going. I'm going to open up one that I've already skinned here and show you about all the layers and the way to save the DDS files and get them into game. So as you can see here, I have all the layers. These are the new layers, region layers. For the first part of it, we're not going to use those. We're just going to get the paint on the car and get it into game. So basically starting out to paint the car and highlight a few bits to work with the mask layers to get them all in. You can see already here there's a few mask layers, alpha channels, carbon. Yeah, we're not going to play with that, but you can see there that's the carbon fibre overlay on all the bits and pieces they've got, which is probably a good thing, because if you wanted to overlay your own carbon fibre, you could upload something onto that and change the look of it. There we go, we're going to get the wire going, and now we're going to start with the paint. So the way I did it was a new layer down the bottom here. Where did that pop up? So new layer, but we're down here, so painting. This is and labelled it fins and paint or whatever. So that's how you do your new layer. But you can see here I've masked. This is how I got the chrome. I masked a layer onto the paint, and we highlighted these fins here and in here and in here, and then applied a mask to it. Now the mask layer, basically I'll just show you how to do one. So you grab it here, we can label it paint, and then we can fill it in like this. Just grab your bucket tool, go bang, we've coloured the car. Now to apply a mask onto this, got this layer, what we're going to do is click the mask button. You see here we've got a new mask over the top of that layer. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick black, because from memory I can't remember which one's which now, but colour or no colour, but either way all I know is do the black. So I think that's full colour, and white is no colour. So unless I've got that wrong, can't remember now, but anyway, so you've got to grab that and make sure it's full black, and then we'll fill this mask layer in. It's highlighted down there, and we can go bang. Now you can see that's turned black. We've masked over the top of the other paint layer we've got, and now we get to select an area that we want to apply a mask to. So this part of the car here, I'm doing this rough. Obviously got a few other bits in there, but this is how we get the mask happening. So if you wanted to do a stripe up the car or something like that later on to apply, say, a chrome effect to it or a different tone to the paint, then this is how we apply that. So we'll be applying this layer to the black layer later on. Yeah, and that'll be enable us to play with that LocalHost in game, so we can change the effect on the paint. But anyway, what we'll do is now we'll swap these over to the white, and just to check and make sure it is full white, because if it isn't, it won't work properly. And then we just fill that in. Now you can see down on here there's a mask applied, so basically, yeah, it's showing through, like cutting a hole in that paint and giving it a different yeah, layer to it. So we'll play with that later. Anyway, so I'm going to delete that because delete layer, there we go. So, and we'll deselect that. So that's how I applied this layer. Anyway, moving on, we'll go through it. We've got the wireframe here, blah blah blah. I put all my decals. Now, yeah, my mate wanted all this colour on the bits and pieces the same. Very meticulous to try and colour these in. So that's up to you how you skin it. But I did it with the lasso tool, and then following the lines and then filling it in, so I could get all the nice stripes on the car. So anyway, we've got so that's the do not merge layer, because he wanted some tartan on his wing and the signs on the side, and there was a couple of other decals that we wanted separate to the rest of the car, and this is all the stripes. So as before, if you know how to use Photoshop, once I've added all these layers and duplicated and blah blah blah, then I merged everything down into one and two layers there for all the decals. So basically that's it. So I'm done with this. So remember to get rid of your wire, otherwise it's going to show up in the game. We're not going to select any region layers for this part of it, because this is going to be the paint layer. As you can see there, all painted, ready to go. We'll create the new folder in game now, and then we'll go back to it. So let's start up Rfactor. Okay, so here's our Rfactor. So let's go and grab the car, and we're already on the McLaren. This is the folder I made for a mate of mine, which is the skin we're doing. But let's go down here and pick number 36, this car, and we're going to make a new directory, a new team driver for this car, and we'll just name it test for the time being, and I'll show you how to get it all in there and edit the car. So here's the car in the showroom. We need to create first of all the directory, then we're going to reload it. Okay, so now we want to go down to variants. Now we've created the directory and reloaded it. Go here, you can see now it's got an alternate skin for the car. Still got the skin on the car, because they just bung that in there to yeah, just show you some paint. Just move that DDS file over. But anyway, we've got create, so let's create. We're just going to go, new driver name is Barry. New team name, Barry's team. That'll do. And car description, we'll just call it Barry's car. And the new car is number 11. That'll do. And accept. So now this has created a new folder. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump out, and we should see the folder created. And there it is, Barry's car. So we've now created a new car team and everything folder in the game, so we can put our new skin and all the details in for it. So let's select that and go back to tuning. So there we go. So this is what I was talking about before, the new directory, user data, player, settings, McLaren, Barry. So this is the folder that we're going to be working out of for all our skins. And yeah, so that's located in your Rfactor folder in your Steam apps. So there we go, we've got that one going. I'm going to leave this running. You guys with single screens might have to Alt Tab out, but I can actually do this on the fly. So as I said, we're going to work out of that folder. So we've got this first part. We've got to create a skin file, which is an alternate DDS, and I'm just got to make sure channels. I usually do the albedo mask, which is for the like the carbon fibre bits. We can leave that out, but as long as these RGB layers are channels are selected, we're all good. Do not select any region layers now, and make sure the wire's not selected, so we're all good. And that's about it. So let's flatten the image. Let's just go hidden layers, done. Image is flattened down into a flat pack for the game, and now we're going to save it. So let's go find this folder I made, which would be Steam Apps Common Rfactor 2. It's going to be in user data, player, settings. Going to be in that McLaren folder, 720S, and there should be a Bob folder in, or Barry, sorry. Did one the other night on Bob, but there we go. There's Barry. There's the folder we created in the game for our new car. So now we're going to go to and make it a DDS file. You can see in here already that that's the skin they already put in there, just so we could see a car in the game. But we're going to label this one Barry _ alt. So you can see here there's two files needed. There's a skin file, which is the alt DDS, and then the next file we're going to create is an alt region DDS. So let's do this one first. We've got the skin. Now this one needs to be generated as a DDX5, same as the old way of doing a skin, which is all good. So we'll click that, and that'll generate a file in that new folder for us. And okay, so if we go to the folder that we just saved it into, we can see it there, Barry alt DDS. So we're all good. What I'm going to do is to create this one. This is, see this alt JSON file, alt region, alt DDS. This is all for the old files. I'm going to get rid of those. So we're going to start a new car. So we've got our Barry alt DDS, which is the skin. So now we're going to create the region files. So instead of going out of game, I'm just going to go back, open up all the, unflatten the image. Now we're going to use these region layers. So what we need to do here is, I've had to play around with this, but basically the black layer is going to be the one that you can get your good chrome bits and pieces, gold effect, this, that and the other. So that I'm going to leave where it was down the bottom. All these other region layers here, from white, green, red and blue, for all your bits and pieces on the car that you want to have as decals, have them as separate items, so you can play with them with the LocalHost editor in the game. So you can see there I've selected the blue, blah, blah, blah. What we're going to do now is we're going to create the mask layers over the top of these, which is quite simple, and then we're going to save it and get it into game. So what I did was, with this car in particular, I went down, let's go and have a look, fins and all that. So this is the one that I want to have the chrome effect on. So I'm going to select this mask here, press Control, click on it. You can see it's been highlighted, all the bits that those fins with the wire. You can see the wire. No, it's going to be under the layers. Yeah, so now selected this mask, we're going to come up to here, we're going to click on the black region, and we're going to select the mask. You can see now it's transferred this mask onto that black region. So the next one that we're going to try and do is Let's see, the carbon fibre. I'm going to put the carbon on, so I'm going to select all the carbon fibre. We're going to put this on the blue layer. So I've selected that. Go up to the blue layer, the blue region, sorry, and we'll click the mask button. Now you can see here we're starting to get the mask starting to happen. So now we've got up here, that's all the decals. We're going to put that onto the red region. So that was this one here. So we go control click, go to the red, and we select the mask again. So there you go. And last of all, this one here, we're going to put that one, control click, I'm going to select the green and put it on there and mask it. Now you can have up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regions, but this one it's always going to be the paint region, the black, or you can play around with it, have an experiment with it, but I found when I was doing it, this is the way it worked for me for the car. So we've got everything in there now. We've got a spare region layer. Let's have a look. We've got the carbon, we've got everything in there. Maybe, no, I've got the matte black roof paint, but I'm not going to use that this time. So I'm just going to deselect it. You can see there was some matte paint going on. I don't want matte paint, so I'm just going to deselect that layer. Now, see here, make sure you've selected all your region layers. We're going to get rid of the white one because we're not using it. There's nothing on that region. So here we've got our green, and there should be red in there, and blue for all the bits and pieces that we have selected. Got all our channels over here, and we've got everything going. So layers. Now, it's a good idea while you're making these layers to remember where you put things, because this works with the local host for green, red, blue and black. So yeah, I'm going to remember that all the blue was my carbon fibre, red was my bits, and the green were some other little details on the back, which I'm probably not going to touch. Now we're going to do the same as before, create that DDS file. So let's, we're all good, flatten the image down. Okay, flat pack that image. Now we're going to save it again back into that same folder, save as. Let's go back. Rfactor 2 hasn't remembered, so we'll just go back into that folder we had before. User data, player, settings, McLaren 720S, and find Barry. Okay, mark it as a DDS. So now we're going to do is label the car. I'm going to go the same again. We're going to go Barry underscore alt underscore region. There we go. So should be right now, and we're going to save this one as a DTX1, no alpha layer, and save. Okay, that's saved. I'm going to pull up our folder. You can see here Barry alt region. There's no mass file in here yet, and we're not going to create one manually, because the good thing about this is the game will do it for us. So let's get rid of Photoshop for a sec. We'll go back to our game here, and we're going to press reload. Now we're in here because this is still working out of the Barry folder. So now we've got our skin in there. I'm just going to reload it. You can see here instantly it's created a mass file, and there we go, we've selected on the Barry car. Look at that, there we go, we've got the car in game. So now we're going to get rid of that. I'm going to show you another trick. I'm going to get out of here. We're going to start our local host now. Let's get a window going. Now, I've got triple monitors. This makes it easy. I can work off this screen, but I'm going to try and work on here. So, and the bookmarks, I've saved this already. So we need to start up this LocalHost paint editor. That can be found. I'll put a link in the description. That can be found on the I think it's Studio 397 forum site, something like that. It's got the how to paint a car skin. So let's shrink this down so we can see some effects on the car. Now you can see here we've got all our layers. Now as you can see, let's select layers. That was our car paint. Here we go. This is what it does to me. I get an error message when it does this sometimes, a Gmotor 2 error. But anyway, I told them about it. Nobody seems to care. But anyway, once I've done that, I'll just reload it again. And now it should be fine. Don't know why it does that. But anyway, if you're listening and watching this Studio 397, got issues. It's done. But anyway, but when you click that, remember that reload button. Every time you click this reload button, it's creating a mass and a Barry a JSON file, which is telling the game how to use these two files here. So basically for me, I just go and delete these now. It's created that, and we'll just go back and play with the shaders. So as I said, black, car paint. Let's go. Okay, see here I've selected chrome. Now the car is chrome. It's given it a chrome overlay. Let's just get rid of that. Look at that. Probably with a black background, so it's quite deep. Bit of shine going on. Quite a crazy look to the car, really. Anyway, so we're not going to do that. We'll just go car paint. You can see there it's gone back to car paint. We can tint the car as well. I'm going to leave it at grey. So if we go blue, look at that. I'm going to select black. Leave it at a nice deep black. So we're back on here. We're going to work it down. So red was my all my decals. So we're going to down here. We're going to go shiny vinyl. So let's put a bit of gloss on it. We can play with that. So chrome, it's sort of given it with the yellow underlay, it's made it into a nice sort of goldy colour. So we can yet again play with that and give it a yellow underlay or a blue underlay to play with it. It's fairly unpredictable sometimes, this. I've had a few issues with the way it works in the local host, but yeah, that's it. So anyway, I'm going to go back to that. I'm not going to go chrome, we're going to go shiny vinyl. So there it is. So that's it. Now green was what was that? Yeah, just a couple of little bits and pieces. That was the name on the wing and the numbers on the side. So that was green. So we're going to use that as a shiny vinyl as well. And I'm going to leave it at that. And we've got our blue layer was our carbon fibre. So there we go, shiny carbon fibre. You can see down here, if I zoom out, let's just change that. We'll focus in on that. We've got shiny carbon fibre. We've got matte carbon fibre. This is these bits here. There's others that seems to be on separate layers. So matte carbon fibre, look at that. We can go to chrome, so you can separate your bits and pieces, pick what you want to do, and paint the car. And then there's car paint, so no carbon fibre. It's funny the way it seems to affect different layers, but you can get rid of that, change it around. So that's basically it. I don't think I had anything on the white layer. The metallic flake, let's go pump that up right up to 1, and let's make it white. Yeah, you can see there, you can see the colour of the flake changing on the car. So there it is, metallic flake. You can see, look at that, really sparkly effect. So play with the different region layers on the way it works out, because yeah, it can have different effects on the car the way you layer up the regions. But I think I did it a slightly different way last time, and I was able to get some chrome effect on the parts. But yeah, anyway, so that's it. So now we've got all that happening, we need to make sure that yeah, you click, once you've done it all, the final thing, you're happy with it, click reload. And reload should save everything that you've just done with that local host, and you're good to go. So there it is, look at that sparkle, all that metallic. So that's how you get a car into the game and play with the local host editor. So I hope that helped you out. I might have missed maybe a couple of things here and there, but it was pretty tricky to learn how to do it. But once you get it, the effect is yeah, just unreal. Look at that, beautiful. Anyway, I'm out. If you enjoyed that, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment, and I'll talk to you later. I'm out. See ya.